My name is Eryn, if I haven't had the chance to meet you yet. I am Diane's longtime friend. And what's going on over there? Don't even know. All right, I first became a believer in fate or destiny at the tender age of 3, when the most amazing gift was literally dropped on my doorstep. It was not a pony or a Barbie big wheeler, but the most adorable little girl, slightly terrified as well, who quickly became and remains to this day my very best friend. Since that day, I've been secretly tucking away every embarrassing mishap, secret, big or small, in preparation for this very moment. Diane just broke into a cold sweat because she knows that I have an excellent memory and that over the past 32 years, she has given me a lot of great material to work with. You may want to sit back, relax, refill your drink, because the words short and sweet have never ever been applied to one of my speeches. Growing up, Diane and I were always double trouble. You could usually find us by following the trail of disaster left in our wake. When they got sick of us at one house, they told us to go around the corner to the next, where we usually got the boot outside within minutes. We could judge the severity of our offenses by the photo op or lack thereof. If our moms paused during their lecture to take a picture and preserve the moment, we were in the clear. Diane and I did literally everything together. We were superstars in swimming. We were the loudest tappers and the least graceful ballerinas in dance class. We got our God on at brownies. We drove our day camp counselors nuts, and we ran wild at the cottage. I'm sure many of you can recount similar stories of your childhood friend. What's truly amazing is that as we grew and left behind the dolls, the games, and most of our childish ways, we never outgrew each other. Our friendship survived and thrived through the teenage years filled with terrible perms for Diane, bad skin for me, braces for both, into our early 20s where we went off to university to find ourselves in between partying like total rock stars, to our mid-20s when we came home, became teachers, and could be found every Saturday morning at 789 Coxwell Avenue with hangovers so bad that we usually required medical attention from Dr. Dave. Followed by our amazing adventure teaching abroad here in this beautiful country where we lived together successfully. Woo! Guatemala! For the very first time. We went home in our late 20s to find love, and into our early 30s where we found it. I clearly remember Diane and Rishi's first date. Mostly because I was in a total state of panic at 3 a.m. when Diane had still not returned home on a school night in the middle of report card season. She hadn't even texted me to rate her date. I had the phone in my hand, ready to call 911 when it rang. Diane sounded as panicked as I felt. I was ready to throw on my super friend cape and fly to rescue her from her evil date when I realized that the date was actually going amazingly well. The problem was she was stuck in the stall of a bathroom in the basement of a scuzzy gay bar and was too afraid to leave for fear that she would run into the people who were doing God knows what outside of it. And so began the adventures of DNR. As it became clear that Diane was falling hard quickly, I stopped waiting up. It took a lot longer for me to fall under Rishi's spell. It's always hard to share your best friend. It didn't make it any easier that he argued every single word that came out of my mouth and insisted on serving up an order of obnoxious with a side of total jackass and a little bit of ooga booga sauce on the top. Turned into weeks, the weeks turned into months. And one Friday night, I was doing what I did in those days, which was staying at home with my cat, eating chips and dip, and watching Say Yes to the Dress, when I decided to just, check out my eHarmony matches. Who should appear Mr. Rishi Ray Sankar. My first thought, shockingly, was not, why is Diane's boyfriend still on a dating website? It was, I want a refund. There is no way in hell that the two of us could ever be a match. I mean, Rishi never shuts up, is super opinionated, is ridiculously particular about food, and goes on and on and on about all of his world travels. And then it dawned on me, wait a second, Diane's kind of dating the male version of me. And it all made sense. From that day forward, I opened my mind and my heart to Rishi, and it quickly became clear that he had fallen as deeply in love with Diane as she was with him. One second. What more could I want for my very best friend than to find someone who makes her glow even more than she usually does? Rishi quickly learned that he would never ever win an argument with the two of us, because as he likes to say, we share a brain. It's true that we have many similar passions, such as chips and dip, s'mores, Diet Cherry Pepsi, Keeps, the color turquoise, set of cards, teaching, because we believe those children are our future. We like to teach them well and always let them lead the way.
I think you're forgetting farts.
Maybe farts. However, the secret to our friendship has always been that as much as we have in common, we are also very different, and that our strengths, our individual strengths, perfectly balance each other's weaknesses. After all these years, we know each other so well that we can just anticipate what the other person will say or do in every situation, much like a married couple, which we've often been compared to. To have a friend who you know is always on your side, but who loves you enough to tell you the truth when you need to hear it, who puts you in line when you need to be, and who just loves you for who you are is a true, true gift. Diane, I can't even express to you how lucky I feel to have you in my life. That creepy dad from Kay, who told you that when he looked into your eyes, he could see your soul, was absolutely right. You are radiant from the inside out. You care deeply, you give generously, and you are the most thoughtful person. You bring laughter and joy everywhere you go, and that's why everyone here and everyone you meet falls in love with you. I have always admired your ability to look perfect at all times, not a hair out of place, not an accessory overlooked. Your obsessive attention to detail, thanks to genes inherited from Dr. Dave, and your shopaholic ways, gracias peaches, have made you a wedding planner extraordinaire. There is not a single thing in this room that has not been handcrafted, stamped, folded, sealed with a punched, sealed with a personalized sticker in this room. Today has been a fairy tale in a faraway land, just as you had imagined and it would be, and you deserve that. As talented as you are, you could do absolutely anything. However, I know that you were born to be a teacher. You have a true gift to work with those who have special behavioral and educational needs, which, as many Rishi's friends have pointed out, makes you the perfect match for him. Someone who can finally keep him in his place, some of the time. Diane, you are part of my earliest memories and my favorite memories, and I can't wait for the many more to come. However, you're not getting off that easy. Everybody should know that today was not Diane's first trip down the aisle. She's actually been married twice before. The first time, well, some say she was young, maybe a little foolish. I personally say that she had exquisite taste. And I am happy to announce that union is still going strong. And Rishi, I'm not willing to break it up, so maybe we can look into some kind of sister-wife situation, I don't know, but whatever. The second one, well, I can't really say much because we all know that what happens at City Hall stays at City Hall. However, I heard that the third time is a charm. So I know that this one is going to be the final one. Rishi, a few words of advice. If you find yourself stuck in a Malrome moment, do not touch or look at Diane's food. If you get caught in a Dutch oven, breathe through your mouth. If, let's say actually, when you screw up,
I think we need to explain to the character.
we don't, everybody knows what a Dutch oven is. If you screw up, run to the nearest Coach store and whip out the visa. If you need some help translating Rishinese into Dianese, call me, I'm good with languages and I'm always here for you.